Hey guys, Foxdrop here with the video on the new champion Ekko. In this video I'm going to go over his proficiency as a jungler, how I think he fares, and how I think you should be playing him. Now I want to emphasize this is done from a jungle perspective. I do think that Ekko is not designed as a jungler, I do think that he's better as a laner. However, as a wise man once said, anything is a dildo if you're brave enough. So, let's get on with it. Firstly, let's go over Ekko's strengths. As a jungler, your first test is being able to clear the jungle efficiently. If you can't do that, then you'll fall flat everywhere else. Luckily for Ekko, his clears are pretty good, especially for an AP champion. The passive on his W, the fact his Q can deal decent damage to multiple targets, combined with his actual passive, all give Ekko some fairly impressive clear speeds. In addition, the AoE stun on his W lets him take a bit less damage and stay a tad healthier. Most mages also have some intense mana issues as junglers due to their constant need to spam spells to survive and to clear. Ekko, on the other hand, is fairly well off in that regard. His early game presence is not great, but he only gets stronger as the game goes on. His carry potential is therefore fairly high if you can get to that stage of the game without too many scratches. His tower diving is also pretty phenomenal as he can jump in, tank the tower, finish the job, and then ulti straight back out. The last positive to mention about jungle Ekko is with his build path. Junglers tend to go about things with less gold than laners and benefit heavily from item builds that can be built in smaller chunks. The stuff Ekko will want to buy during the game definitely falls under that category. Now moving on to his negatives. First mention should go to his ganking, which is very hit and miss. If he's able to land a prediction W, then he can be quite effective, but if not, he often fizzles out in usefulness. Having said that, with red buff he is extremely powerful thanks to his E, which almost guarantees the application of that slow. Combined with his W passive, which speeds him up and slows the enemy champion on every third hit, it's very hard to escape him. Like I mentioned before, his early game in general is a bit weak, which is to be expected with a champion of his nature, but it does mean that he will have to keep an eye out for stronger early game junglers as they will rip him apart. He also doesn't really suit the role of a jungler too well. He's not a tank, not a ganker, not a person who hunts down the enemy jungler either. The only real reason to pick him as a jungler is just because you can. He is, in my opinion, much more suited as a laner rather than a jungler. My conclusion of jungle Ekko is that he is a non-jungle champion that works in the jungle, similar that way to someone like Morgana or Zed, who have jungling capabilities but are definitely optimized elsewhere in other roles. And don't get me wrong, I think Ekko is a very good champion, just in my opinion not a very good jungler. So now I've given my thoughts about him overall, here's some information on how to actually play him in the jungle. Don't forget you can watch my jungle gameplay to help out with this as well. For your runes you want to pick up some attack speed reds, armor yellows, AP blues and AP quints, and your mastery should look something like 2190. For your build you want to get a ranger's trailblazer to help with this sustain, and then either rush a magus or a Luden's Ekko. Outside of that, it's fairly situational. All of the standard AP items will benefit Ekko in some way. All of the stuff you're seeing now can be built on him depending on how the game is going. And lastly, for your skill order, I recommend going for Q, E, W. That does it for my thoughts on this new champion in the jungle. Ekko is definitely a lot of fun, so if you want to play him as a jungler, I would definitely recommend that you do so. If you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to me for more educational league content with a bit of entertaining stuff on the side as well. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, and catch me streaming on Twitch as well. All of those links are in the description, guys, but most importantly, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.